Hi Glendale, I'm Meg Keller.
And I'm Michaela Injami.
And you're watching the Glendale 411.
Nerd culture today is spreading faster than ever before.
Michelle Lewis, Landry Schneider, and Morgan Schaefer have the story.
Over the past few years, nerd culture has seen a massive shift into mainstream media. Prior to this shift, comics and superheroes were seen as a closeted interest. Today, more and more people have begun to appreciate these things.
People are comfortable talking about what they enjoy. A lot more people have started going to shows or conventions or doing cosplay.
10 years ago, 20 years ago, you never would have had anybody involved in Hollywood or any other way that would come out and say, I love comics. I grew up with this and this is what I do, this is what I am.
The main source of this change in people's mindsets is traced to the creation of Marvel Studios just 10 years ago. Those at Marvel Studios were attempting something that had never been done before.
There had been movies before that were comic related that had done not great.
Marvel Studios, you could tell they got it right. They've done a really good job of giving you the essence of who all these characters are. With the movie Iron Man, what you literally are getting is his literal beginning. Whereas in X-Men that other studios have done, you're getting a version of those characters, and you're not starting at the very beginning of the story. The big difference is that the people that wrote the comics, Marvel themselves, are the ones behind Marvel Studios.
In the past 10 years, Marvel Studios has made millions and millions of dollars. This unexpected success truly is the fundamental reason nerd culture has seen this shift.
Because of the success of the films, it has brought attention to a lot more people to check out the comics. And so I have a lot of customers who come in and say, I've been watching these movies and I think they're great. I feel like I need to read some of the comics. Where do I start?
To those people that never felt that they could identify a lot with comics, it has made it easier for them to express their love. This is great. This is a great time we live in, so enjoy it and love what you love.
Van Gogh's Eatery has recently been added to the fun and cultural vibe in Springfield.
Audrey Mace and Caitlin West bring you the story.
Van Goghs Eatery on Commercial Street has been open since the first week of March. The eatery has something unique to offer Springfield.
Well, it's a Dutch-inspired eatery, so what we want to do is give you a taste of what you'd experience if you were to just kind of walk out of Springfield for a moment and step into the Netherlands.
The owners wanted to create a Dutch name for their restaurant that anyone could recognize.
He was most prominent during the time period that this building was constructed originally, and so we just felt that Van Gogh would be somebody that anybody in this town could really relate to and understand, and it would pay homage to the historical factor of the building as well, and tie the two cultures together.
Well, it's the only Dutch-inspired restaurant actually in the state of Missouri, and definitely the only one in Springfield. It's not just inspired by the Netherlands, but it's inspired by my experiences there and my friendships, relationships that I have there. I was an exchange student in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam.
Well, definitely the decor takes that first impression when you walk in. The space is huge, a lot bigger than it looks from the outside. The artwork is gorgeous, just, fresh, clean, new.
So we wanted to allow people to experience a little bit of the Van Gogh art, but in a style that's called Mondrianesque, which is big blocks of color, clean lines, everything very organized, very stacked, and then spaces that are kind of divided equally. Although we have the portrait up here, the big paintings are they're close-ups of Van Gogh paintings where we zoomed in on the brushstrokes and brought it out to where it was basically big blocks of color, a little bit more ethereal. We also wanted to represent some of the architecture that was surrounding the building, so you'll see in the metal work is cutouts and images that represent the Jefferson Avenue footbridge, which is across the street from us.
Joseph and Claire own two other businesses on C Street, Cafe Cusco and a spice market.
One thing that Commercial Street is being noted for is the culture. Commercial Street is seafood culture, and so to be able to bring two definite types of culture that are so different to the same street, literally within 2 blocks of each other, I think is it's kind of a unique and fun idea.
It's a challenge in the location, but I think Commercial Street's come a long way, and it's just continuing to do so. So I think in 5 years, this is going to be the new downtown.
The Dickerson Park Zoo held an event raising awareness of conservation on Earth Day.
Tanner Brady and Sarah Snelson have the story.
Party for the Planet is a nationwide event promoting conservation and recycling. The Dickerson Park Zoo participated.
The event is Party for the Planet, which falls on Earth Day, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a party for the planet. So it is a worldwide event, and almost every zoo, if not every zoo that is within our organization, our association, is celebrating Party for the Planet. What we're doing here is we're focusing on recycling and conservation. A big part of the zoo's mission is conservation, protection of wildlife and wild places. So what we're doing is taking recycled plastic bottles and we're recycling and repurposing them again, and we'll have a craft station set up here. This is our Diversity of Life building where the reptiles live, and there will be a craft station set up in there where kids can make a craft out of plastic bottles.
Glendale science teacher Tara Truster speaks about why conservation events, like Party for the Planet, are important.
I think they're important because it gets people excited about conservation, and I honestly think it's an issue. People don't understand that conservation needs to be important or that it is important. If we don't think about the things that we're using, there's going to come a time where we run out of them. So it's important that we use them wisely. So I think it's good, especially for younger generations, because if we make them aware with Earth Day events, then they are conscious of it as they get older.
It's really a part of the zoo's message. I mean, we are conservationists. We want to protect wildlife. We want to protect the places where wildlife live. And a part of doing that is being careful with our resources and reusing them as much as possible.
Cassette tapes are making a comeback, and they're being manufactured in Springfield, Missouri.
Chase Cantrell and Harper Brady have the story.
Cassette tapes, compact cases containing a length of magnetic tape that runs between 2 small reels, popular for being portable analog records in the 80s and 90s. However, cassettes have recently made a massive comeback, with being in films such as Guardians of the Galaxy, having soundtracks for Disney movies such as Star Wars, and also very popular with indie music artists. Where are these once lost audio formats made today? The answer, National Audio Company in Springfield, Missouri. We went in and talked to Steven Stepp to see what this cassette craze was all about.
Well, National Audio Company is 49 years old, and we supply audio and video recording materials to recording studios and broadcasters and religious organizations and publishers all over the world. Our main business is manufacturing duplicated audio cassettes for the music market. Most of our business is not local, although we do good business with a local band, but 98% of our business is elsewhere.
We got the chance to talk to a couple of cassette tape collectors. One a student and one who works at Stick It In Your Ear and sells them every day.
I just learned that cassette tapes were being made in Springfield, which I think is pretty cool because they're probably one of my favorite audio formats right behind vinyl. I've been collecting cassette tapes since I was around 15 or 16. The first cassette I ever bought was it was The Cure, Disintegration. I got it Stick It In Your Ear, and one of the guys told me I should probably expand on my cassette collection. So I did, and I've got around 20 to 25 cassettes at the moment. And I just think it's a really cool art form.
My first cassette tape was Eaten Back to Life by Cannibal Corpse, and I got that when I was about 15 years old. And oh my God. I mean, that started a rabbit hole for me, because I mean, after that, like, I just got tape after tape after tape because they were so cheap. You know, it was super easy to get them, and like anytime that you would go to a show or anything like that, they were always there, and it was cheaper than vinyl and everything like that. And you buy a CD for $20 or pick up a tape for $5, you know. So my tape collection has gotten ridiculous here lately. So, well, I mean, honestly, whenever it comes to audio quality, like whenever it's on the phone and stuff, a lot of digital formats seem to be over compressed, you know, so you're not getting the full range of sound and everything like that. Like whenever it comes to like metal and punk music and stuff, a lot of like their masters, like whenever it comes on vinyl, is like masters pulled from their tapes, like their original tapes anyway. So yeah, that's why when I talk about punk and metal on tape was where it's at, because that's the format that, you know, usually it was intended for. So Cassette tapes are definitely coming back in. I believe, I might be wrong on the statistic, but I think cassette sales nationwide went up about 14% last year. And they keep going up and keep going up. And I mean, it's actually been really great for our town as well, because National Audio Company over there is one of the last places in the world that makes tapes. It's incredible how it's coming back, and I mean, I would have to say that they have a decent part of that just because they've been affordable and they've been good to people. And I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
Thanks for watching.
Make sure to check us out on social media at the Glendale 411.
Signing out for the last time, I'm Michaela Injami.
And I'm Meg Keller.